Your family deserves the most beautiful smile possible. At Tupelo Smiles, we use precision dentistry and advanced technology to make visiting the dentist an amazing experience. Relationship-based comprehensive care. Come discover the difference at Tupelo Smiles.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Being a parent, especially for the first time, with that comes a lot of self-doubt. As a dad, I just try to lead by example. When you're trying to be the best person that you can be, your kids see that and then they emulate that.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 5.
Welcome into Mississippi Live Weather at 5. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynor, and we are officially over halfway through the work week. Yes, we have the weekend in sight. We have our Friday night football games in sight. We are excited that we are on the latter part of this week. Well, what do we need to know heading into the latter part of this week? Well, there's honestly a good bit, but we're going to start with tonight. And what we're tracking tonight is isolated storms continuing into this evening. Just what we need to know as we head out the door. Well, we'll touch on that here in just a moment. Some showers possible for your Friday night forecast. So not everyone staying on the drier side. And yes, we are talking about 7 o'clock on your Friday night. Unfortunately, not lining up with the best potential. But luckily, with these showers, with all these rain chances, it is bringing cooler temperatures. Those are inside officially heading into that fall season. So you do have a little something to look forward to, even if you do get some rainfall on your Friday. Well, let's kick it back to the first 12, and you can see 6 p.m., 20% coverage. Those 20% coverage sticks around until 7 and 8 o'clock, and then by 9 into those overnight hours, that's where we'll see those chances diminish into about 10%. So yes, showers are still possible, but for the majority of us, staying drier. Temperature-wise, 86 around 6, 76 by 9, and cooling off into the upper 60s towards your Thursday morning, so it's going to be another comfortable start. But let's go ahead and get into what we're tracking here in North Mississippi. And what we're getting into is a few showers along Oktibbeha County due to this outflow boundary. Now, cycling this over the past hour or so, you can see how these have just continued to backbuild there on the west side of Starkville, and I mean, basically right along Highway 12, carrying that all the way over towards Ware. So what we're seeing right now, it's not exactly a uniform movement, but we can definitely still track this. I would say this is moving in more of a southerly motion if we track that out, because although it is moving southeast, it's building back towards the south. So we'll track that out. And again, it's going to be about 10 to 15 miles an hour. And you can see Webster 529, Evergreen by about 540. And I want to do this loop one more time, because I want to make sure this track is right, because yes, it is building south. This one back here towards Williams, that's one to pay attention to, because that looks like it has a bit more of a core, and that has some of that uplift that's lifting a few of those cloud tops and could be producing small hail as well. We'll keep eyes on that behind the scenes, but overall, if that's our only concern, I mean, that's really one isolated shower or isolated storm that we are watching. The rest of us on the drier side, some more showers popping up if I put it on this latest loop over there towards South Pontotoc. Hey, South Pontotoc, you're back in Mississippi Live Weather. We know that we told you guys your game of the week. Let's keep a lot of those storms, though, away from South Pontotoc on Friday night, because we'll be there and we don't want to get rained on. And I know you guys don't either. So Wallfield and Gershorm, that is a city name that I have not heard yet working here in North Mississippi. But as we cycle that back over the past hour, you can see how this is just now starting to get a little bit more organized. So going to be producing some decent downpours as well. Can't even do a track on this. We know it's moving in that southerly motion, but again, it's right along one of those outflow boundaries. How long it lives, I mean, that remains to be seen. But as of 5:03. That's what we're tracking, moving closer to Highway 15 and Highway 32. If we track that a little bit more towards the south, we're going to keep that same speed, maybe a few miles less, and we're staying there towards Thelma by about 5:54 if that continues to stay together. But again, for the rest of us, staying on the drier side, and if we look at our storm threats right here, we can see that the most organized one remains down there towards Oktibbeha County, as we do have a little bit of a hail core showing up on this storm. So this is one to pay attention to, because what we've seen on a few of these storms storms, if it has that signature of 1 to 1.5 inch hail, could be producing some marble-sized hail, or should I say pea to dime-sized hail. That's what we got over towards the Blue Mountain area when one of those storms got a little bit more organized. So we'll keep eyes on this. And again, I'm going to cycle this back because I want to see it with the severe weather threats, how this has progressed over time. So some of those lighter blues that are showing up, that's about a 1/2 inch hail, but now those deeper blues. So this shows me that this storm is still organizing heading into that 5 o'clock hour. So again, we're going to keep eyes on it behind the scenes and make sure that if this gets a little bit more interesting, that we'll come back to it. But again, this is our big storm that we're watching into our Wednesday evening, and that's your 10 to 20% coverage. Like we mentioned, not affecting a lot of folks. So that low pressure center that has been residing over there in the Atlantic coast there towards North Carolina and Virginia continues to remain there. And that's where a large part of those showers are coming from. Us here in North Mississippi relying on a boundary for our rain chances, and this continue to provide it, but a very sporadic development, so not exactly going to be getting those significant rain chances, those drought-busting rain chances. So with Drought Monitor coming out tomorrow, it's not exactly going to be a good sign, and we'll have the latest on that outlook starting on your Thursday morning. So let's get back here into North Mississippi, or the entire Southeast, because that's who's dealing with these isolated showers. This is a look into your overnight hours and just how many of those showers continue to develop, primarily East Texas there into Louisiana, but some of that moisture lingering there towards North Mississippi. And as we carry that forecast overnight, you can see how these just continue to have that cyclic development where they build just a bit, have that uplift, but then as soon as they peak, well then of course those downdrafts become dominant and we start to collapse on its, or should I say, they collapse on itself. We do not collapse on it. 8 a.m. on your Thursday, there's a look at that little batch of moisture, but overall we're staying mostly dry and mostly clear heading into your Thursday morning. 6 a.m., 67 degrees, 77 by 9, 90 degrees there by noon. Topping out in the mid 90s. It's actually going to be a few degrees warmer than where we sit on our Wednesday afternoon. So if you want that heat, well, it is still in the forecast. But luckily for a few of us, an amount of people, about that much, going to be getting those showers heading into our Thursday afternoon. We'll track those chances out here in more detail coming up on Mississippi Live Weather at 5. So make sure to stay tuned because I know we're all watching. Watching and waiting. Oh my word. Coming up in 60. Oh my word. I'll get fixed behind the scenes. But make sure to keep it here on Mississippi Live Weather at 5 to assess those rain chances coming up in the next 60 and say a prayer that I can get my voice back. But we'll see you back here in about a minute.
Up here's where your biggest risks hide: leaks, mold, and expensive damage. Most commercial roofs fail slowly until they fail big. Why rip it off when you can restore it? Our silicone coatings stop leaks, prevent mold, and extend your roof life without the high replacement cost. It's a 30-year watertight roof, energy efficient, leak-free, and half the cost of replacement. And it's backed by GE's manufacturer warranties. Facility managers love this. No disruption, no tear-off, and long-term protection for your property. Trust Absolute Restoration for your commercial roof.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver. And we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynor.
Well, I guess all of that dry air is contagious because not only is it affecting our forecast outside, it was affecting my throat about 1 minute ago. But we are all good now. Nothing some water can't handle whenever it comes to our forecast and for those dry throats. So yes, we're okay now. Hopefully that continues to last. But man, what an adventure a couple minutes can be. Let's jump back into the forecast. Justin in Blue Mountain, our weather watcher out in the field, showing us a few pictures of what he called marble-sized hail. And the thing with marbles that, we appreciate the report, but marbles are so subjective in size. I know we have a generalized idea in our head, but that's just, we have to use our imagination for that. Whenever it comes to measuring hailstones, we're talking about coins. So say dime, penny, nickel, or not really penny, but dime, nickel, quarter, $50, and then we start getting into baseballs and things like that if we're getting that large. We're not getting that large today, but needless to say, I would say that this is about pea to nickel-sized hail there in Blue Mountain as one of those strong thunderstorms progress through the area. And not just this picture. I mean, you can see those white specks, those white dots on the screen. That was some of those hailstones, but even right here, you're seeing some of those white specks there on that patio. And so fortunately, it looks like you had an overhang to protect your head, Justin, because I know these hailstones, although some of them are small, can still kind of hurt just a bit whenever you walk outside and experience that. So what we're seeing right now on our Mississippi Live Weather Radar, and we'll jump into analysis mode here real quick, is some storms trying to flare up there towards Oktibbeha County. So if we take it into analysis mode here real quick, we can assess that in more detail. And what we are looking at is towards Oktibbeha County, right along Highway 12 there towards Sturgis. And what I'm seeing right now is still a decent hail core on this. And the best way to do this is what we did yesterday. And wait, hang on. Patty, yes, I am going to be okay. We have a water fountain right outside of the studio, so that minute I ran out there, got some water, and we are breathing good right now. And I believe Mrs. Maynard did text me to make sure I was okay, and so if she's watching right now, which I assume she is, 2 thumbs up. We're rocking and rolling, but I appreciate your concern. Let's go ahead and get back into this Oktibbeha County storm. Let's take a slice of this, and of course we're going to take a slice, turn it more horizontal, and of course take this slice all the way through the storm to see some of that lift. And yes, I mean, looking at this, let me try and get it on the right thing. It's lagging just a bit. I might have to restart the computer, but oh, I'm just missing it. There we go. So some of that core reaching as high as 20,000 feet. So these storm tops are continuing to increase. And if I take this back a couple of scans, then you can kind of get an idea on how this has progressed. Oh, I'm really going to need to restart this computer. Okay, we're going to try our best with this. But as you can see, those storm tops earlier about 10,000 feet. So this has been on the climb over the past few scans, meaning that this is still a healthy thunderstorm. This is still one that's maturing, and we expect impacts from this to be some small hailstones, similar to what we saw in Blue Mountain, about pea to dime-sized hail possible there towards Sturgis. And if I take it back, we're going to get more of an aerial view on this as we take it full screen. You can see that's really the main storm we're watching. Down around Kosciuszko, another decent downpour, but this is far from being anything overly concerning. And as we progress that over the last hour or so, let me put a loop on this and go 1 hour. This is basically just now developed. So it has the potential to continue to increase, but as of right now, not overly high on impacts. And honestly, rain chances there in Attala County altogether, not very high either. So if we take the storm track here, I'm going to have to do the leading edge of that more significant part and extend it more in that south-southeast motion about, we can say 8 miles an hour or so. Williamsville 522, Dodds 535, and Nile by about 601. That's moving into southern Attala County. And me doing that, I realized that I did not put an updated storm track on that Sturgis storm. So let's go ahead and go back to that storm and do that here real quick. Put it on a 30-minute loop to see that movement, just how it's been progressing over the past few scans. And you can see that that has pretty much remained right overhead of Sturgis. So that is not exactly a moving storm as of this point. And why is that a concern? Well, that's how you get some flooding rainfall instances, because some of those rainfall rates, I mean, we're talking about some decent rainfall rates as a result, and so that's where we're going to get some possible flooding concerns if this remains in the area for an extended period of time. I mean, let's go ahead and do a 1 hour rain rate right there, and we'll have to get on the latest scan. And so far, if I populate in some of those totals, already reaching about 3/4 of an inch, so no surprise there that this is going to be continuing to accumulate over the next couple of minutes, maybe even the next hour or so, as that remains over the top of Sturgis. So if we put a track on this, and we are going to, it's just not going to be very vast, should I say, because this is not a fast mover. We're going to put it going south, and we will put it at most about 7 miles an hour. We see Morgantown by about 520, trying to get down there towards Gum Springs and Evergreen community down there in Winston County, but we are still a ways away from that, especially if storms decide to move as slow as they are. Now, that being said, there is still the potential as some of these storms getting some steam, as you see over there towards Fort Payne, going up I-59. Severe thunderstorm warning is in place until 6 p.m. So some of these could produce some isolated severe thunderstorm warnings, but we're not expecting a widespread severe weather threat. A lot of that remains out there towards the Midwest. So fortunately here, we're going to stay on the overly calm side. but still with a few showers and thunderstorms here and there. So keeping eyes on that Oktibbeha County storm, but I would say overall we are in good shape heading into our Wednesday evening. And Wednesday evening is, of course, time for our church forecast for any of those midweek plans. 6 p.m., 20% coverage. There's that 20% just impacting a few folks, and then 10% lingering by 8 p.m. and even there towards 10 p.m. 86 degrees falling into the mid-70s by 10 p.m. So we are going to be sitting much better than what we were at this afternoon with some of those showers in the area and those hot conditions. So let's take Futurecast into the evening, and doing a great job at populating in a few of those showers and storms at the 5 o'clock hour south of Highway 82. Moving into 7 o'clock, still has some decent downpours towards Attala County, and more development trying to be produced north of Highway 6 on the far north side of the state near the Tennessee state line. So yes, a few more drops of rain are possible, and we are hopeful for that here in Lee County because we definitely need more rainfall. But I mean, you can see into the evening, it's just pretty much going to be hit or miss. Are you lucky enough? Did you play your cards right? Because that's who's going to get the rainfall overnight. 2 a.m. populating a little bit more there towards Monroe County, but then becoming a bit more widespread all the way towards Fayette, Alabama, and extending into Calhoun County as well. That's going to be around 5:30 and 6 o'clock. Low temperatures tomorrow morning, since it's going to be clearer overnight, cooling us off into the mid-60s for a lot of locations, but out west still, I mean, 70 degrees in Greenville, 69 Cleveland. Fall is 5 days away. We'll take any of that cooler air if it ever wants to move into the forecast. Unfortunately, it just doesn't look like it'll be anytime soon. 66 degrees around pickup, 94 towards drop off as we get into our Thursday. Again, 2 days left of the school week, 2 days left of the work week. Guys, we can finish this out, and we're enjoying another beautiful forecast heading into our Thursday. As you take a look Thursday morning, of course, those showers dissipating on out, and we're staying mostly dry for that Thursday morning commute. Another beautiful start to our day, and those great conditions stick around even towards that lunch hour as well. Now you see these winds moving more of a westerly motion rather than that directly southerly motion. And why that matters? Well, it's going to impact how much moisture we get in the area, because heading into tomorrow afternoon with that peak heating, we definitely do have the chance at producing a few more pop-up showers, but the production will be much more limited because that southerly wind not supplying a large part of that moisture. I mean, here you go. Very isolated on those rain chances down there towards West Point, Fulton, and even down there towards Winston and Noxubee County. Those trying to populate in around Sardis, Clarksdale, and Shelby, but even those not overly impressive. And so today was more widespread than what tomorrow will be, and that's saying something because today was not widespread whatsoever. So Thursday staying mostly dry once again with those few pop-up showers possible. I mean, forecasted rainfall, we're talking about 1/100th of an inch in just a couple of locations, so we're not overly high on those rain chances. High temperatures, mid-90s across the region, so we talked about it warming up a few degrees. Well, we're seeing that warming trend take full effect, and heat indices at least showcasing that drier air, which will keep those 95s as bearable as 95s can be. Now Thursday evening, those temperatures cool off, and those rain chances, a little bit we do have, do die off, and we'll be clear overnight and calm overnight into our Friday. Some showers trying to form out there towards Sardis and Cleveland, but that's basically setting the scene for what could be a more active afternoon. You already see it by 12 p.m. Some of those showers and storms trying to move into the area. Now here's a look at rain chances, and we do know Strike Model is a little bit over aggressive on this, and so that's why you need to tune in tonight at 10, because we have one of our high resolution model runs going to be put out, and then we're going to look at that in more detail and compare the two. I'm not overly sold on this much rain chance or this much rain in our area, but I am sold on the fact that we're going to be about 20 to maybe even 30% coverage. I mean, this has a complete washout. We are not expecting that whatsoever, but I do agree that rain chances will at least be increased from what we'll see Thursday, and possibly even increased from what we saw today. Now, the football games will be impacted by a few of those showers, and that's why we need to tune in at 10 once again. But those rain chances not overly high on coverage. That's the good part of that forecast. High temperatures on your Friday, another toasty one for anyone doing pregame activities, 93, 94 degrees. Luckily, still that drier air dominating our forecast, so that's pretty bearable. Again, as bearable as this hot weather can be. Now, your high school game of the week forecast. We will be in South Pontotoc Friday night, going through the latest and greatest, should I say, from South Pontotoc, what they've been saying. Homecoming game, so make sure to head out to South Pontotoc to come join us and cheer on South Pontotoc and Okolona. It's going to be 78 degrees by pregame, 68 halftime, and 67 towards that final snap. Looking at this, they have pulled back on rain chances, and I will say that I am not overly sold on that. I think we need to up rain chances just a bit, so we'll fix that for 6. But yeah, that's definitely a forecast we need to pay attention to. Actually, I'm going to check it behind the scenes here real quick. Bear with me one moment. that has it on the right time. I don't believe that. Earlier on, it was saying 20% by pregame, and I would agree with that forecast, and 20% by halftime and 10% by that final snap. We'll keep eyes on this, and I'll fix this for the 6 o'clock broadcast. But yes, we're going to be paying attention to that, but we are getting some rainfall in that forecast for our Friday night games. So make sure to keep that umbrella handy. Now, looking at your Carl Hogan SEC football forecast, first play for Ole Miss going to be a toasty one on Saturday. 96 degrees, 94 by halftime, and 87 towards that final snap. Reason why? Kickoff is not in the evening this week. We're talking at 2:30, right in the peak heating of the day. So make sure to drink the right fluids and stay hydrated for any of those pregame celebrations or even postgame celebrations. Northern Illinois traveling down to Starkville to take on Mississippi State. Kickoff is at 3:15, so similar to Ole Miss, you guys are going to be right in the thick of the heat. 96 first play, 92 by halftime, and 82 towards the final snap. So a toasty next couple of days in summary for what we've been talking about. But those brief showers definitely impacting our forecast, and like I said, impacting some of our football games Friday night. Paying attention to that forecast in more detail, but at least lightening up for our Saturday and our college football slate. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, isolated chances do return, and looking at better rain chances heading towards midweek next week. We're fingers crossed on that forecast, but we expect that forecast to change as we head further into the next 7 days. But at least we're having a better outlook than what it was this time last week. We'll take that. And also, temperature-wise, we're going to be toasty, but cooling off into early next week, back into the upper 80s, right in time for fall. And we are excited for that here at Mississippi Live Weather. So I want to hear, hang on one second. Okay, I was just reading the chat here real quick, and Patty said Miss Maynard is requested to do a show with Gabe at her convenience. So fun fact, and I'm going to talk about my wife's classroom here for a second and let the scoop out. So she painted her classroom green because she teaches science over at Boonville. And she painted it all green. It's actually the color of green screen. Like, it will work with our equipment here. So I told her at some point, I'm going to go up and do a visit with her classroom, and then at the end of the day, do a live broadcast from her classroom using her wall as the green screen and see how it goes. So that's a whole experiment that I want to do here in the near future. And I know that if it's using her classroom, I will bring her on air and she can make her on air debut. But definitely excited for that. And you'll expect to see that at some point in the near future. Go Dogs and go Cowboys. Almost time to grab my Sunday pullover. I think we're still a ways away from that, Brenda, but fall is about to be here, and that means temperatures do trend a little bit cooler, a little something to look forward to. We'll, of course, have the latest details on that fall forecast coming up through the rest of your Wednesday evening here on Mississippi Live Weather. Make sure to download the apps right now to stay as informed as possible, watching those showers that move through Oktibbeha County as we speak, but we also have more showers possible as we head into the rest of this week. So that'll give you all the information you need to know. Our live stream as well, 24/7 access with live broadcasts at 5, 6, and 10 on your weekdays, and at 6:30, 7, and 7:30 during your weekday mornings. So we expect to see you guys there. And speaking of, I could have just pulled this graphic up right here. Take a picture of this if you ever forget our schedule. And of course, you'll have access to us anytime using that Mississippi Live Weather app. We'll see you back here in just a couple minutes for Mississippi Live Weather at 6. Make sure to stay dry and stay safe. And we'll see you back here very soon.
At Room to Room, did you know our specialty is custom ordered upholstery? Get the furniture you want and the fabric and color selection you want. With our free design service, we won't let you make a mistake.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.